A very good morning to all my dear students. This is Silpreet Kaur, your social science teacher. I hope you all are good at home. Today we are starting with the second chapter of civics, that is understanding secularism. Introduction. Suppose you are a Hindu or Muslim living in a part of USA where Christian fundamentalism is very powerful. And despite being citizen of USA and having all the required documents, no one is willing to rent their house to you. Now, how would you feel? Would you not feel resentful? These all things are bound to make you unhappy, right? So on one side you will feel that Christians should be treated in the same way in those countries, say India, where Hindu or Muslims are in majority, uh, and this is called retaliation, or you can say a feeling of revenge, or treating the same as the others are doing to you. Or on the other side, you may feel that there should be justice for all and no one should be discriminated on the basis of their religion, right? This statement demonstrates that there should be no discrimination against one's belief and all form of domination related to religion should end. This is actually the essence of secularism. History, if you look at the history, it provides us many examples of discrimination, exclusion, and persecutions on the ground of religion. Example, several Jews were persecuted in Hitler's Germany, claiming that they belonged to an inferior race. And at present, Jewish state of Israel treat its own Muslims and Christian minorities very badly. If we talk about Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, church, etc., and nor can they gather in a public place for prayers. So, in all the above examples, it is clear that people belonging to majority religion in a particular country try to harass those who belong to the minority religion, right? These acts of discrimination take place more easily when one religion is given official recognition by the state at the expense of the other religion. Clearly, no one would wish to be discriminated against because of their religion or dominated by another religion. Right? So, now the question arises, what is secularism? The Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices as they interpret these. In keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, the lawmakers adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. Secularism thus refers to the separation of the religion from the state. So you have understood that when we are living in a democratic country like India, we have the freedom to live according to our own religious beliefs, and we are free to practice our own religions in the way we want, right? Now, why is it important to separate religion from the state? As discussed above, secularism is all about separation of religions from the state power. This is important for a democratic country to function properly. Almost all countries around the world have more than one religious community residing in them. If the religious group has access to state power, then it could easily use this power and financial resources to discriminate against and prosecute persons of other religions, right? And those in the majority have chances of creating tyranny of coercion, discrimination, and even killing the minority people. The majority religious group could easily prevent minorities from practicing their religions, and if a religion starts dominating others, it is considered as a violation of rights. So, in a democracy, every citizen has the right to practice his or own religion. Hence, the violation of fundamental rights and tyranny by those belonging to the majority religion is the major reason why we need to separate religion and the politics. Another reason is that we need to protect the freedom of individuals to exit from their own religions, embrace another religion, or have the freedom to interpret religious teachings differently. Now, if we talk about Indian secularism, Then, according to the Indian Constitution, our country is a secular country. And a secular state is one in which the state does not officially promote any one religion as the state religion. A secular state can ensure its objective by following the following points. One, one religious community should not dominate the other one, and some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. And the state does not enforce any particular religions nor take away the religious freedom of the individuals. Because all the citizens are equal, irrespective of their religion, and there should be no discrimination on the ground of religions. All are free to follow the religion of their own choice. And also, the citizen of the secular state uh, have the equality, and they have the right to interpret the religions in their own way. So, Indian state works in various ways to prevent the above domination. First, it uses a strategy of keeping itself away from religious issues, and the government of India does not support any religion, nor it is ruled by any one religion. In India, government spaces like law courts, police stations, government schools, and offices, these all are not supposed to display or promote any one religion. This is it for the introduction of the chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless you all.